Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Saturday Morning Coffee with Back to Basics. For those, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Leon. I'm the head trainer here at Back to Basics Dog Training, and each and every week we bring you this live Q&A session to hopefully help you guys out and help you with any of your dog concerning issues. Good morning, John. Good morning, Donna. Thank you for piping in. Anybody who's watching live in living color, please put your comments in. Let me know you're watching. And even later on the replay, put your comments in. Let me know you were here watching. So I hope everybody's having a good week. Anybody up and down the East Coast, stay safe with the potential winter weather that's coming. I think it's going to affect almost the whole East Coast, it seems like. So just stay safe. Just a friendly reminder. Good morning, Shelly. For anybody who is not familiar, good morning, Melissa and Rocco, from Rocco. Anybody who, good morning, Denise. How are you? Anybody who isn't familiar with winter weather, down here in the South, we're going to be getting some ice and snow and stuff like that too. Keep in mind, guys, rock salt is not good for your dogs. There are pet-friendly versions of it out there, but if you're out walking your dogs in places that put down rock salt, make sure when you come in, you wipe their paws down really good, get between the paw pads. Just take an act of precaution for your dogs. The rock salt can be, from what I understand, it can burn the dog's paw pads. So just take an extra little bit of precaution to help your dog so they're not suffering from the rock salt. I'm looking at my bars on here. Oh, okay, there it goes. We had a little glitch there, so I hope I didn't lose anybody. So we're going to dive right into a conversation until I start seeing questions pop up here. I had a great question during the week from one of my viewers who caught me on replay, and I'm going to basically paraphrase what she wrote to me. She's working with a longtime rescue dog, I'm assuming in a shelter environment. Good morning, Bets. How are you? She works with them 1 or 2 times a week to try to decompress them to the outside world, which is so important for any rescue dogs, guys. We got to remember they need to decompress. Their world is changing when we take them from the shelters or from a horrible situation. We got to give them time to decompress. The problem with the dog is that when he meets new people, he will lunge and snap at them. He is capable of trusting and has a small circle of people that he trusts. How can we teach him to trust more people? I should add that it's not until the new person tries to touch him or get too close that he will do this. If a new person just stands there, the dog is fine. Okay, so first thing, and my response is very simple. It sounds like this dog is terrified. It's understandable. Again, remember, the words were a long time. What was the exact words? A long time shelter dog. So it's natural of him to be afraid of people. He knows his close circle. If he's in a kennel environment, the people that come in there every day to feed him or take him out or whatever, he's comfortable with them. 1, because they're fulfilling some of his needs. 1, food. 2, socialization skills. But it's a very small circle. So the goal is, anytime we try to get these dogs placed, is they have to be social in the outside world when they meet new people, go into new environments. And that's what the great job of these volunteers at these shelters do, is they try to work with these dogs as best as possible and give them some sort of life beyond the kennel walls. So my first suggestion is continue to walking him. And you have to be smart when people approach. The dog may be the cutest dog in the world, but you got to tell people, that the dog is in training and he needs time to decompress. And one of the ways you can do that as well on the walk is when you run into a stranger, and you can set them up for success by just having somebody come with one of the walkers, shelter walkers, is have them stop. Hey, it's COVID, social distance, people. Keep a distance from the dog. And don't make, to quote Cesar Millan, no look, no touch, no talk. They're not supposed to make eye contact with the dog. They're not supposed to address the dog. And they definitely should not touch a strange dog. And then, because a dog that reacts like this dog is reacting, and again, I'm going by just from experience. I haven't met this dog. I don't know much about this, but what was written is when a dog reacts with this fearfulness, with the growling and the lunging and the nipping at people. They're using their eyesight more so than their sense of smell. Their sense of smell is so important for them to understand the world. By slowing down the process, by having the people stay at a distance, not address the dog in any way, and that's why the no look, no touch, no talk is such a good theory, is the dog will start from this to go. And once they start smelling and using their nose to gather the information on the person, they tend to kind of trust that person a little bit more, and they tend to relax. It doesn't mean, okay, I saw the dog go, it's okay to pet. No, it's not. It's a slow process. And this is why it's easier if you're a volunteer and you're a walker at a shelter, to have a friend come meet you when you have a dog like this, and then slowly decrease that space. And it may only be 6 inches at a time, maybe a foot at a time, whatever it is. Each dog's an individual, it's hard to say. And then eventually just start walking together, holding a conversation, keeping, the dog here, me here, and the other person over here. And this way the dog is starting to get that sense of pack mentality with that stranger. So it's not a stranger danger situation. It's a long, drawn-out process, and it really is not fair to these dogs, because they're like, this young lady only gets to work with the dog once or twice a week. If there's other dog walkers that walk with the dog, what I would hope she would do is explain to what I've told her. So this dog, the 7 days it's walking, if it's walking 7 days, is getting the same routine time after time after time. The other suggestion I made to her, and this is for any dog, guys, that is any type of reactive, where you, as the dog handler, has a fear of the dog nipping or biting another dog or a person. Muzzle condition your dogs. I believe personally all dogs should learn how to accept the muzzle the proper way. This way, if they're in a situation where it's better for them, they're already used to it. But you can muzzle condition a puppy, or you can muzzle condition an old dog. It's a long, drawn-out process. Nothing is an overnight fix. And I always suggest basket type of muzzles, something that they can pant, they can drink water, they can take food from our hands. And this way, they don't feel as constricted as some of those nylon muzzles that basically stop the mouths from opening. But you muzzle condition the dog. And the muzzle conditioning is twofold, guys. And I've said this before. It's great because we know our dog cannot bite somebody or nip somebody. It puts that person at ease. But more importantly, it puts the handler at ease. You don't have to worry about the what if. And if we can take that what ifs out of our minds, our energy changes. We become calmer because we don't have to worry about it. And the dog will respond to that calmer energy saying, oh, you're calm, I could be calm. If you're tense because you're worrying about your dog possibly lunging, nipping, or biting at somebody or another dog or whatever, think about your energy. You're tense. You're ready for it. It hasn't even happened yet. So by putting the muzzle on the dog, it changes the whole dynamic around the dog. But the person that's approaching at ease, most of the time, some people look at muzzles and say, "Oh my God, you got a vicious dog," which is them being naive. But more importantly, it puts you at ease, and your dog will sense that. If your dog trusts you, when you're calm, they're going to respond the way you expect them to react. So I hope that makes sense, guys. Let me know if this makes sense to you. Donna says, we are more confident as leaders handles. Our energy makes all the difference. Absolutely. With Stark, it was huge. Stark, if anybody was excited or too excited, or they were nervous because of his puppy behavior, he reacted in a negative fashion. He fed off the negative energy, which was that overly excited, or, oh my God, he's fighting me too hard, or whatever, or he's not listening, and he was feeding off such negative energy. Then when I had the privilege of working with Donna and her family, we talked a lot about energy. It wasn't so much me handling Stark or them handling Stark. It was them understanding what Stark was communicating to them. And again, since the dog can't say, hey, your excitement is triggering me to do this, or your nervousness is they can't say it. You have to understand their language, and it's not a spoken language. And that's reading what they're saying by their energy and their body language, guys. And it's real important. It's been a huge success, and I know it's still a work in process with Stark, but Donna and her family, it's a huge success. I mean, Stark was, you were, I believe Donna was the second home Stark was placed in. The first people gave up because he was overexcited puppy. They couldn't deal with it because they were feeding into it by every time he went to go play, and they bite, they scream and they run, and he would chase them because that's the thrill. Um, and when Donna and Rich called me, I mean, they were at a crossroad with this dog at that point, and they were they were actually thinking they were going to have to rehome him. So I'm glad they reached out to me, and it's been a success. They've had him over a year now, if I'm not mistaken. Um, he's doing real good, but more importantly, he's doing real good because they're doing the job. They're doing it. They listened to what I said, and this isn't for a pat on my back because I give a crap about that. But they understood what I was talking about when I talked about the energy, and they saw it firsthand from the moment I walked in their door. Stark automatically responded to my energy, and it was like it was Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I mean, Don, tell me if that's right or wrong in the interpretation. You know, from when I first walked in the house, it was a definite, instant change as soon as I took the leash from them. And Stark got it, and he's thriving. He's got a great life. He gets treated like a king, and it's all because they've learned to control their. Good morning, Michelle and Athena. Um, so I hope this all makes sense. This is what we talk about week in, week out. I mean, I'm still waiting for the questions to pop up. So as soon as we get those, of course, we'll address those. But since we're on the subject of rescue dogs, and it could be shelter dogs, John, I have a 5-year-old American Bulldog, and when he gets excited, he bites you. Bit me and 5 people. Yes. John, 100%. Overexcited dogs get in trouble. You got to remember, when dogs play with each other with that excitement level, they're biting each other. That's how they play. You know, they paw at each other, they tackle each other, they bite each other in the neck, the legs, whatever. The problem being, as hard as they bite each other, you and I are bloody messes. So it hurts us a lot more than it hurts them. And that's why I talk about you have to learn how to control the level of excitement your dog goes into. Okay, I'll get to that in a second, Melissa. Um, when when we control the level of excitement, one thing I always say is your dog should never. You meant to say? Oh, I didn't see your comment above Melissa's. I'll get to that in a second too. Shelley, I'll get to your question too. When I say dogs should never be allowed to get excited on their own. Not when it comes to working with the humans. When they're playing with other dogs, that's a different story. Again, because we know as hard as they bite each other, you and I are hurting, we're bleeding, whatever. So we should control that level of excitement. If they get excited on their own, play with me now, you actually should stop it and bring them back down to calm. And then using the 0 to 10 scale, if they get to a point where that bite is starting to come and you start feeling it a little too hard, stop it, bring them all the way back down to 0 calm, and praise them when they're at 0 calm. So they bit too hard, ow, whatever, nope, slow it down, bring them back down to calm. You can choose to continue to play or you can continue not to play, whatever you want to do. But you're going to control that level. And what they'll learn eventually is, oh, I can only go this high. And then when you say no, it stops. There's a video, I'll try to find it. Maybe I can put it in the comments on these platforms of me playing with Zoe, and I let Zoe get way high, guys. Don't try to crap at home. She was at a level 7 or 8 of excitement where my arm was actually bleeding, and literally I snapped my fingers and she went right back down to 1. But it's something that I've worked on so much with her from the time she was a puppy. So we'll get those videos out there. Let me get to some of these other things we got on here. Donna said, hold on, I have the past has been loud. This past week has been loudly barking at us around 8:30 each night and getting high energy. and we have disagreed with him using the e-collar. Last night I put him on a leash. Our energy and confidence has helped us even this week not panic or get nervous, and we're able to work through it. Beautiful. And again, they're like us. They have different moods. They have different energies. They change, guys. So when they have this setback in our world, that's the opportunity to teach them. It's still not okay. So we've been doing good for 6 months. All of a sudden now at 8:30 at night, Starks go stupid. Teach them it's not acceptable without yelling and screaming and hollering at the dog. Use your tools. Put the leash on if your dog is doing that. If you have an e-collar, use the e-collar, whatever it takes, and disagree with the behavior to teach them a better way of doing it. Great job. Okay, so as far as Rocco starting to lunge at people again, so when people are getting ready to leave, put Rocco on a leash. And when he makes that move, even when they're petting him, have him on a leash. And you guys have to be diligent on this. So somebody's petting them, they stop petting them, and you see that little bit of a change, make a correction with your leash. You nope, sit, calm, and then continue the process of the person stopping the petting or the person leaving. You're gonna disagree. And then when they're in a calm state of mind, praise. It's so important. Don't forget to use the tools that are out there. Guys, if your dog is doing something, leash is the best thing in the world because you have control. Sharon's a question on the best collar tool for using on a large breed dog. He's turning a year old, and we have tried several things, combinations of halty, harness, martingale. Well, Shelley, what is the issue? I mean, that would be my question. Good morning, Susan, in your New Jersey house. What's the issue, Shelley, with what your dog is doing? Is puller, lunger, runner? There's nothing wrong with using a good quality prong collar if the dog is conditioned for it. If it's pulling a lot and you tried the harness, you tried the halty, you tried the martingale, and you're still not getting success with it, switch it up. Go to a prong, a Herm Springer. Make sure it's Herm Springer prong collar. Depending on the breed of the dog, I can tell you what size it is if you put in the comments of the breed. And hold on, I got to make my mousy thing move here. Remember, Leo, when even Donna says when leash was a struggle for our family. Yeah, absolutely. But you're learning. A little background on our dog, Diego. He came to us 12 weeks old from wandering in Georgia at 8 weeks with a poorly healed broken leg and docked tail. Nice. He came to us shortly after having surgery to repair his leg and was not allowed to move much. He's a puller. He's 90 pounds, 12 months old. Okay. So what I would suggest is getting, again, a Herm Springer collar. It's a 2.25 millimeter, which they say is their small. Guys, it works on 90% of the dogs. The only time I don't recommend that collar is if you're really talking a massive neck, like, Great Dane or Newfoundland or St. Bernard. Then you need something with a lot more fur on the neck. I don't know the breed of the dog. If it has a lot of fur, the 2.2 might be a little too small to get through the fur. I know with Nano, we got Stark's 50, 60 pound, pitty mix, and we're using the 2.25, and he responds very well to it. But again, Shelley, the first thing I would recommend doing if the dog is a puller, first of all, forget about the backstory of him, his broken leg and his docked tail. That was yesterday. We can't fix it. He's happy. He's healthy now. So that was yesterday. Don't worry about it. What I do suggest, and I will put it in the comments again, I think John watched some of my videos I had on my YouTube channel. I have a series on how to leash train your dog, which is better known as Mastering the Walk Back to Basics style. It teaches you how to do the walk in a calmer manner. Shelley, definitely get 2.25 then. But if you start the walk in a calm manner, if the dog gets excited when you get the leash out, don't put the leash on the dog. You're rewarding the excitement. If the dog doesn't understand threshold management, Donna can speak on threshold management, how important it was for Stark. Not going through the door in front of us, coming out the door like ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, John. If you follow the steps in my Master of the Walk, it's 5 episodes, guys. By starting the walk calm, keeping the whole entire walk calm, you'll see that pulling kind of stops itself, because if you can't control the excitement putting the leash on the dog, you can't control the excitement outside. If you can't control the excitement of the dog bolting out the door at 700 miles an hour, you can't control the walk outside the house. Those first 2 episodes are so crucial to the success of a walk of a dog. The walk I designed, those 5 steps, is based on the main premises of a pack mentality for a dog, which is about leadership and structure. Donner's done it. I think John is doing it now with his dog, and a lot of other people I've talked to. The structure and the leadership is what your dog needs on the walk. It's not about sniffing everything. It's not about, oh my God, I'm outside, going crazy, bouncing off the walls. Even though we're outside and there's no walls. It's more about the structure and the leadership, because that tells your dog you're in charge. And the more you can control the walk, the better your dog behaves even inside the house. That's how important it is. Guys, I can't stress it enough. How important mastering the walk back to basic style, the structured walk, is so crucial to your relationship and the health and happiness of your dog. Master the walk. It starts there. Every dog that you get, I don't care if it's a puppy at 8 weeks old or an older dog at 6 years old, start with the walk. If you can master the walk, you'll see a lot of those other unwanted behaviors in the home disappear, because they're getting what they need, which is structure and leadership. I can't stress it enough. It's real crucial. And anybody who's watching who does go to my YouTube channel, please subscribe to it. I need subscribers. Now, on my Shelly, on my YouTube channel, because Mastering the Walk, nobody would type into the YouTube search. So I changed it to it's a playlist on my YouTube channel called How to Leash. I think it's How to Leash Train My Dog. I will put the link on this on the Facebook platforms when I'm done, and on the YouTube channel once everything uploads, probably later on today. Donna says it is crucial in helping you as a pack leader. It helps you feel confident that you can handle your dog throughout situations. Your dog looks at you differently, which is beautiful. It's actually a language that comes from mastering this. Yeah, guys, and again, when we communicate with our dogs, it's not about the spoken language. It's your energy and your confidence. If you don't have confidence, your dog's going to read it. If you see another dog and you do that oh crap moment, your dog's going to read that energy from you, and they're going to have the oh crap moment. Instead of like when I walk dogs, when I walk dogs and I see that other dog, hey Kim, oh, I wonder who it was. I'll get to those in a second. When I walk a dog and I see another dog and I know my dog is leash reactive, I calm myself down. I take that as the opportunity to teach the dog. So instead of going, oh crap, there's a dog coming, I do, yes, there's a coming. It's a totally different G, and I'm able to get the dog through it. They may not respond right away, but they get it. I just worked with the German Shepherd here that was reactive to every single dog in the complex. And because I was working with him, first, we didn't leave the apartment excited. It made it easy for me to correct him when he saw other dogs or heard other dogs. Susan says, threshold management. Love that terminology. We stress rescues to new adopters. Countless dogs can bolt. Absolutely, guys. Threshold management, when I talk about it for the walk, is the most important part of dog training in my world. It saves their freaking lives. And like I've said before, and Susan, I mean, I will be happy to do any of these type of platforms, Zoom, Google, whatever the hell, Classroom, or whatever it's called, I don't even know, with any rescue group that wants to get their fosters involved. I will be happy to set up a separate live face-to-face answer questions, through Zoom or Google Meetup or Microsoft Meetup, whatever the hell it's called. I'm not that technologically good here, but you know what I'm talking about. Threshold management saves dogs' lives. I've told people this before. It's not only the front door. Donna can attest to it. It is also a back door. It's the door leading from your house to your garage. It's the garage door leading to the driveway. It's your gates. How many times we have bad weather coming? I think in New York they're going to have some high winds and all this type of stuff. Gates get blown open. My dog got out. Teach your dog that even if that gate is open, they are not allowed out. Period. Um, you gotta do it, guys. It saves their lives. Episode 2 of my How to Leash Train the Dog is so crucial to everything because it's stopping the excitement at the point of excitement, and it saves their lives. The last thing I want to hear is I opened the door to let somebody in. My dog ran out and got hit by a car. I don't want to hear that. We can stop that every single time, but you got to take the time to do it. This is a passion of mine, guys. I'm sorry. I know I'm sounding like I'm preaching right now, but I know, and my customers that I've worked with know it saves their damn lives. And rescue people have to understand that. Fosters have to understand. Fosters is not for a pat on the back. Fosters to teach the dog how to get on and coexist in our lives and start teaching them how to do it. Not just, I'm fostering, I'm doing good. No, I think fosters need to put more effort into helping these dogs move on to the next phase of their lives. So it's real important to me. Kim, great. I love it. I spoke with a gentleman who you helped many years ago when in New York, spoke so highly of you. I love it. I'd love to know who it was. If you can text me the name, I'd like to give them. Shelly, it's Herm Springer. It's HERMSPRENGER, I think. You can get them on Amazon. Make sure, though, it's a Herm Springer brand. I don't like the other brands. They're not as well made. Herm Springer makes a very good one. They also have some quick connect type to make it a little easier. Do the research. If you need more help, guys, I'll put my number up here for a little bit. You can always reach out, text me, or email me at either one of these things. If you need more information on where to get this stuff, let me know. Send me an email or text. I'll send you the links. So definitely. Yeah, I worked with a few vets on Long Island, trying to help them with their patients or clients or whatever. I've reintroduced dogs to vets because vets offices, because sometimes that can be traumatic. I'll get into that in a second. Alex has been taking Stark on 2.5-mile walks now. Wow. Meanwhile, a year and a half ago, Stark was so leash reactive she didn't even have the prong or the e. Fantastic. So that's what I'm saying, guys. All these tools we talk about, sometimes, we talk about prong collars, and I know the misconception of prong collars. I know the misconception of e-collars. I understand it, but I think if a tool is used properly, they're good if used properly. Half the time, these tools aren't used properly, and that's the biggest problem I have with tools. The goal is they shouldn't need it for their lives. They do, but they shouldn't. If putting a prong on the dog helps me teach a dog to walk better with the prong, the goal is always that I don't need it eventually. That you can have that off-leash experience with just a simple slip leash or a martingale collar or something like that. Or better yet, in a confined area, controlled area, have an off-leash experience, which is always great. Have your dog follow you, go to a tennis court, shut the doors, and teach your dog how to heel. Use the word heel. And have your dog stay by your side with no leash on. Start it with a leash, of course, but eventually you want to see a bigger U shape in the leash because your dog's right next to you. And then if they get a little ahead, you just say a word and they come right back, or they slow down or whatever. Donna says, when we are eating, he does not cross onto the tile floors. Beautiful. It's not a doorway. The threshold is the boundary between the tile and the carpet. Absolutely, guys. I say threshold management. I use the term doors or gates or whatever, but it's any place you decide. In Donna and Rich's home, their dining room has tile floors. Their living room has a carpet. We use that boundary that when they're eating, you're not allowed past that. You're not allowed to touch those tile floors. That was the threshold we chose. When they're cooking, their dining room and their kitchen is kind of combined, and there's a counter separating them. And when they're cooking, Stark knows he's not allowed in that kitchen area, so the counter became the threshold. If I remember correctly, I could be wrong. But I think I'm right on that one. Any place you choose as a threshold is a threshold, if that makes sense. So, real important, guys. If you can focus on anything, I know I keep saying I have to do these videos. It's just time gets in the way sometimes. Threshold management, I got to do a specific video on that to show people um, how important threshold management is for the people at the shelters who volunteer at the shelter. You're going into their dog runs. You're opening up a gate. The last thing you want that dog to do is bolt out through the gate and entice a riot behind fences with the other dogs. But you got to teach them. And that should be respect. Like I can say to Zoe, if Zoe's in front of my door and I'm trying to get out or in, I just have to say move. She takes 3 steps back. I've trained her that sound move means get the hell out of my way. So if I say move, she moves. So I can get in. So if I was walking into a dog run with Zoe and she's right by the gate because that's what most dogs would do, I would just say move. She'd back up 3 steps. I can walk into the gate. But you got to teach them. And it's real hard volunteers, and I understand that. And that's why it's important to get everybody who volunteers at these shelters on the same page. I think the shelters got to, the shelter people that run the shelters got to get rid of the damn egos and have more qualified behaviors type trainers um, to teach their staff, not work with the dogs. Teach the staff. What I do, and Donna can attest to it, Kim, we tried working. I'm so glad Hope is doing good with the breeder. I know it was a lot for you to handle, and that was more. And don't take this the wrong way. The environment, everything's going on in your home. But even some of the things we just discussed, because I never worked one-on-one with Kim. We did a lot through FaceTime and phone calls. But it's not me handling the dogs. It's me teaching you what they need to understand. And so the people that run these shelters need to understand they need to bring somebody, I'm going to say like me, in, not to work with the dogs, maybe show people on a specific dog, but not really work with the 20, 30, 40, 50 dogs, however many dogs are in a shelter. It's to teach the volunteers and the staff how to do this. So we can help these dogs move on to the next phase of their lives and clear out the shelters a lot quicker. Because if we teach these dogs how to be calm in that dog run, people walking through will say, oh my God, look at this dog, how calm it is. This is the dog I want. But when dogs are jumping at that gate and trying to bolt out the gate, people are like, I don't want this freaking dog. That's a lot of goddamn work. We can, the people that volunteer, these animal lovers that volunteer, they can help this process. I just need to reach them. And that's why I keep saying week after week, guys, I know this is a free platform. Please share my Facebook page, my YouTube channel, these videos out with your friends and family across the country and across the world, because we can truly do this together. So if we reach 1,000 people, that's 1,000 more dogs we can help. And that's the goal of why I do this. Yes, I need to make a living. I need to get to people's homes. I need to train, I can do training through Zoom. It's a discounted training if anybody needs that extra bit that I can't give out on this platform. But the more we share this, share my Facebook page, let people know every Saturday morning, 11 o'clock Eastern time, I'm doing this platform. I don't care if there's one person watching or 0 people watching or 1,000 people watching. I'm still going to do it because the replay's out there in the world. So Kim says you can love a puppy dog, but you have to be ready. I believe it was the wrong time for me, even though my heart felt it was the right. Absolutely, guys. We love dogs. Here's an example. I have Zoe. I would love to get more dogs. Right now is not the right time for me to get more dogs. One, because I'm in a 2-bedroom apartment. It wouldn't be fair. I don't have the time to dedicate right now to really doing the training I want on another dog. So right now, it's not the right time for me. One of the biggest mistakes people, in my opinion, people make when they get another dog is, I just lost a dog. I'm still in a state of mourning, but I need that dog another dog in my life. But if you're not ready for it, don't get it. You're not doing yourself or that dog a favor. And anybody who's on, Remember Me Rescue. I know this is going out on their rescue groups page. You know, how many dogs get turned back to rescues or shelters or whatever because the people didn't get the dog at the right time in their lives? It's really bad. We're noticing that with the pandemic, guys. Reality. The pandemic happened last 2021, whatever it was, 2020. I don't even remember anymore. And the world shut down. We're all home. We all decided to go out and get dogs, and then reality hit because we had to go back to work. And now nobody took the time to train these dogs properly. But we wanted to get a dog because we were home. It was one of the worst things that ever happened to these dogs because a lot of them got returned and no fault of their own. Remember, guys, dogs don't have bad behaviors. They have unwanted behaviors. It's our job to teach them. And that's the key of this whole thing. So again, please share this information. Share what I say. If you can remember what I say and you're talking to your neighbor who has a dog that's giving them an issue and you just verbalize it. I know Donna posted something a couple weeks ago. One of her clients, they noticed a change in the dog because Donna's going to their home to help them, but not train their dog. It was something else. And if I remember correctly, the dog's owners noticed a change in the dogs because of what. Oh my God, 19. God bless. I'm so sorry you lost your dog, Susan. That's me. Lost my dachshund 2 months ago at 19. God bless. Currently looking at a 9-year-old beagle in the shelter, heart versus head. Yeah, and it's real rough, guys. And I know I sound like I'm insensitive when I say things like this, but it's really not insensitive. It's the right thing to do. If you're still grieving and you bring a dog in, they're going to read that energy and they're going to take advantage of it. And I've seen it happen so many times. Remember, if you're not in that calm, assertive pack leader state of mind, and you get this new dog and they see this, they're going to say, well, you're not going to do it. I got to do it. And that's when I start having more and more problems because the dog took a role it doesn't want, but it needs to have that pack leader in its life. So if the dog has to become the pack leader, it does. I actually saw a case where I worked on it. Lady had 3 dogs. I think it was 3 dogs, if I remember correctly. I think they were Cocker Spaniels. I'm not sure though. And all of a sudden, they've had these dogs for years. The dogs started fighting. They couldn't figure out why. I mean, it was out of nowhere, they said. So they called me to help them out. And after going through the whole backstory, what I realized is, believe it or not, a cat passed away. The cat passed away, and the cat was actually the pack leader. And the dogs were at a loss for, okay, who's in charge? The cat set all the damn rules. The people were mourning the loss of their cat. The dogs didn't see anything, so now they start to fight to establish pack leadership because they needed it. It's just how nature works. Kim says, Leon knows my situation. I lost my husband last year, and everything he was saying happened. Is saying happened. Yeah. When we go through a traumatic experience in our lives, be it a loss of a loved one, a loved pet, a person, a dog is not a substitute. It doesn't work that way, guys. You can't help you can't help the dog if you can't help yourself. So once you're in a better state of mind and a better state of health that way, mental health more so, over the grieving process, ready to move on with your life, then once you've mastered moving on with your life, then get that companion you want because you'll be in a better state of mind. And if you're in a better state of mind, your dog will be in a better state of mind, or your cat, or your guinea pig. It doesn't matter because animals understand it better than we do, guys. And I say it week in, week out. Your energy is the most important. I'm going to put that up there. I hope everybody took down my number and my email address. But I say this. Donna can attest to it. I think Kim can attest to it because when we tried some of the stuff over there, energy is the most important communication tool we have with our dogs. It's not the verbal. It's not the men's testosterone. It's not the women's estrogen. It's your energy. Calm energy fixes so many of these issues that these dogs have. That's why dogs respond like Stark when I first walk in the house. The German Shepherd that I worked the other day, it did the normal crap that it was used to doing. It tried jumping on me. I took the leash from the owner, made one correction, dog sat at my feet for the rest of the session while we were in the house until we started the walk. Because they understood when I was calm when I disagreed with the jumping on me. I wasn't angry at it for jumping on me. I wasn't frustrated for it jumping on me. I was calm. I was teaching it something new. It's like teaching my kids how to spell the word dog. But you don't know how to spell dog? They're 3 years old. Should I get mad at them because they don't know the rules? No, I have to teach them. So it's the same theory. We do that our whole lives. We're teaching people. You hire somebody, go to work for somebody. You're learning the rules of that particular company. Or if you hire somebody, you're teaching that person the rules of your company. And that's the same thing. We're teaching the dogs the rules to live in our world because remember, we domesticated them. They're not They don't understand the rules we want. We have to teach them the same way we have to teach our children. From the time they're born, we're teaching them. We teach our dogs too, guys. It's not that hard, but it starts with your energy. That saying right there is the most important thing in the world. Check your energy. Check your egos at the damn door, and you'll see this succeeds. So with that saying, we're at the 40-minute mark. I don't see a lot more questions coming up, so we're going to start wrapping it up. But like always, I will be here every week, every Saturday morning, 11 o'clock Eastern time. Any of the people who are watching, who are volunteers at a shelter or work for a rescue that want to have a one-on-one private type of thing like this, quick Q&A session with your volunteers and the fosters or whatever, reach out to me via email or text. We'll get something set up on the books and we'll have some fun with it. But with that being said, guys, if there's no other questions, we're going to wrap it up for the week. Again, with the winter storm coming all across the East Coast, everybody please stay safe. So, as always, guys, thank you for inviting me into your homes this Saturday morning and every Saturday morning. It is truly my honor and privilege to be here. Again, thank you, thank you, thank you. And remember, please share this with your friends and family around the country and the world. And as always, stay healthy, stay safe. God bless. We'll see you next Saturday. And remember, together, we can help one dog and one family at a time. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys. Stay safe.